What is up?
All right, welcome back, everyone. Good evening. What's up, Cody? What's up, everybody? Got people trickling in from everywhere. So really happy to have you guys. And as always, this live stream is brought to you by you guys. So hit that like and subscribe button. Really helps us grow. And thank you for all those that have subscribed and are helping us grow. Really appreciate that. And welcome to episode it's going to be episode 3 of Market Close. So I do apologize. I did not change the title when I hit launch, and I can't go back and change it. So it will be what it will be until after we're done with the video. But we're glad to have you in here. So just going over some news. We got more layoffs happening. We got a lot of things going on with at Chainlink, and if you have been following Chainlink on YouTube, they're also live right now with going over some projects and their what's going on for 2024. They also have launched 5 or 6 new videos about their platform, developers, interoperability, speed tests, all that stuff, and what to look forward in Web3 and Web3 finance with them. So a lot of great things going on over there. I suggest you check it out, watch the videos, definitely go subscribe to their channel and see what's happening over there. We got some news about the crypto space, got some news about stocks, got news about economy and everything. But we're gonna make this short so that way, because I gotta get out of here and get some supplies before the Office Depot closes. So we're gonna try to make this as quick as possible for you guys, and we'll go over some tidbits and everything here and there with you guys. But as you guys know, the finance industries just keep laying off people, and the tech industry keeps laying off. They have not only they've been overburdened with too much hiring over the pandemic, but nothing was panning out as the way as the way they thought, and as well as the cash flow for those businesses just not there. So they're starting to trim back. Probably expect another 5 to 7% layoffs off the big banks, the big tech industry. They're just going to keep chopping until they get to where they can't chop anymore off. So don't be surprised if you start seeing more and more layoffs with that. And of course, the more layoffs happen, the more it's going to affect the real estate markets and auto loan industry. So expect to see like CarMax and Carvana to take a huge dive. We already know that earlier this year, Vroom closed down the online car sales. They only do loans now, and that's looking like I think they might be biting the dust soon with that. So, with that said, let's talk a little bit about crypto. Lots of great things going on. We're still seeing some nice dips. I did see Quant dip below 100 briefly. I don't know if it's still there, but it probably isn't. Let me try to find Quant. Yep, it's still under there. Dropped about 2% at $98.51. So if you were waiting for that dip, it definitely dropped down there. But if you want to go take a look at their website, the website on you go to was it Coin Market Cap, go down, click on the website.
Yeah,
They
I'm
have
currently
new
sitting at like 97 quant right now. I'm 3 quant away from 100. My goal is I'm adding $7,000 more into crypto this year, and I'm doing half and half. So I'm doing 3,500 in the quant and 3,500 in the dot. So I'll be at 120 quant, and I'll be at like 1,600, 1,700 dot.
Yeah, and they just put on some a new more announcements on on their site about projects and what's going on, the fees to use the Quant network, and how they're extremely cheap. Um, the pro the steps they're taking to tokenize real world assets, which we've been talking about for the last year, how that could change the way like car titles, real estate titles, ownership of property businesses could change through that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to affect in the long run. But don't expect that change to happen anytime soon. That takes a lot of change on every part of government from the township level all the way up. So it's probably going to take a very long time to take effect. But I see the potential in it for that. But there's another cool thing that you guys got to keep out on is that we are coming to a time that retail investors are going to be deep diving into those meme coins. Because you got Dogecoin, Shiba Coin. What was the other one that you? I know that you sent me a text on it, Cody. But it was like NG Coin or something.
Oh, Engine? Yeah, it's a gaming one.
Yeah.
That's a good one to throw like 100 to 1,000 max into.
Yeah. I, but we also have the freaking There's another meme coin that just popped up out of nowhere. Um, but I just only saw it on Twitter. All of a sudden people flooded into it, and then I didn't see it since. So
You
just be
know,
careful
I
about
was I was gonna mention. I think the altcoin market. The most it'll drop is another 20% in total. Like the market cap of the alts in total, excluding Bitcoin and ETH. So alts excluding ETH and Bitcoin. I feel like the market cap at most will drop 12 to 20%. So I think we're still near the bottom. Not exactly at the bottom for altcoins, but we're near it.
Yeah, we should see another 10 to 15% drop in the total altcoin.
Especially for the summertime. I'm because we're already in May. Like we're almost halfway done through this year if you really think about it. Like once
Hmm.
we get to next month, we're really halfway done through the year and we have another 6 months. And I think the summertime's gonna be like a boring price action for crypto. And I think the end of Q3, early Q4 will be some really like bullish price action.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I expect the same thing kind of coming closer towards the end of the summer, September, October area once the summer kind of cools down. Because right now, I think people are focusing on getting jobs, stabilizing their income, and paying off debts. And then once they get a job and start feeling comfortable, they'll start feeling comfortable to invest. As you guys know, right now, prices are kind of going crazy. We have with
Solana.
prices, Solana, yeah, going up, but it also just like economy wise, we have businesses like all the fast food places raising prices and everything, and those small adjustments in prices are taken away from retail investors' ability to keep dollar cost averaging in. So once they figure out how to maximize their income again, they're going to start dollar cost averaging into this stuff. It's just it just takes its time to kind of filter in. I do know that people are starting to get second jobs now. There's more news about people not making it, so you never know. They might just take a chunk out of their 401k or savings or retirement funds to go and invest into the stock market and crypto, trying to make it on their own. But be careful now because it's not just the SEC that's looking at pump and dump and scam cryptos. It's also the FBI. Like I said earlier, just because it's not regulated by the SEC doesn't necessarily mean it's a fraud and that the FBI is not going to come and get you. And I think a lot of influencers, we're going to see a lot of influencers that were kind of on the border. They're the ones that are probably going to, I would say, probably are going to get busted by the FBI eventually. It's like I'm even seeing websites of those same influencers saying that they have financial advisement websites without having a license, and you need two licenses to be able to run a business like that. You have to have your own license, a Series 6 license, and usually they also have a Series 256 license, but you also need the license to manage a firm of advisors, even if it's just yourself. So you need that license as well. And a lot of them don't have it, and that's where they're going to get caught in there. Unfortunately, it's not because they lost a whole bunch of people money. There was like a huge thing. A bunch of influencers were on the stage in the red pill, and the crypto gurus, the crypto influencers that are peddling the day trading and the courses were also on there. And if you followed all their advice, it came up to a 98% loss. So I also kind of want to shout out, this is to shout out to at Duke the Don or whatever. I think it's Don. No, it's Duke the Don, his YouTube channel, because I kind of mentioned it on his live when he was covering it on in a super chat with them, that how they lost 98%. Well, let me show you exactly how they lost 98%, because They were shilling the all-time favorite, which we were getting constant bombardment of it last year. I'm sure Cody can go on forever about this, but it's good old Hex and Pulse Chain. And this is the day chart, right? So let me go pull up the year, because this is exactly a year from when they said to get into this. You have a 98% drop, almost
In a
99% loss
year.
in a year, and it has not rebounded.
So that's why I was arguing with them and getting loud because I knew that would happen. And they're not even around. Like remember when they used to be active in the Discord and the stream? We haven't seen them in months.
Yeah,
Months.
and now keep in mind, like here, right around January, the whole market doubled in value, and these guys did not even come close. And
It's
then we just kind of
crazy.
went back.
So I
It's
wonder. I wonder if those guys that were in our stream are even still holding it. What do you think? Do you think they sold at a loss?
they can't sell. There's no liquidity. They're stuck with it. Like you're stuck
Really?
with it. Yeah, and like that's what you guys got to be careful about with this type of investments, because there's no liquidity
What
on.
rank is that market cap? What
Uh,
rank is it? It says number what?
where's the rank? I can't see it.
It's under it. It's in gray. It's under the market cap number.
Oh, 228.
Yeah, I don't think there's much liquidity in that.
No, there's no liquidity. Exchanges that aren't taking the coin. That's what I'm talking about. Like you have all the major exchanges, Coinbase, what was it? Coinbase, crypto.com, Uphold, even KuCoin
Kraken.
and Kraken are not taking the hex coin. They all dropped it off. And the other one, which was Pulse Chain, is also in the dumper. Let's
So
take a
they
look
lost
at
all
Chain.
of their money in the past year, pretty much.
Yes, that is correct. Let me take a Hex Pulse Chain. Also, let's take a look at this over a year. So it went back down. So it came, and this came out about a year ago. Let's take a look at all. Yes, about a year ago, this whole thing, and now it went from
This is down 3% for
two
the year.
cent. Yep,
I mean, it's doing better than the Hex coin itself, but still bad.
but where's the trade volume on this sucker? We gotta find the
Pro-
trade volume.
It's probably like none. Go up.
That's as far up as I'm
What is it?
going.
It says volume
$1
right there.
million, just a little over $1 million. $1 million of it, and right now this market cap is at like they're in the high 2000s. So there's no liquidity in this either. This was kind of like the last hoorah for this guy, and that's what I've been saying. And it's like if you go back to Hex,
Those guys were literally calling us stupid and arguing with us. Keep in mind. They were I remember one of them said that I couldn't understand it and that I was stupid. Like this was all a year ago. Like we started the stream right around the end of May. So we're pretty much yeah, we're right up on a year of doing the streaming stuff.
but I just want to say it's pretty much a 99% loss in a time when the market
Market doubled.
like that is so. That means there's no one in this. No one's putting money into this. He's even stopped talking about it. I haven't heard or seen him at all.
And guess what? I texted Sal about this, but like Quant, for example, like you can't call Quant dead because I looked back 15 months ago in February 2023, Quant was at 114,000 holders. Today, Quant's at 154,000 holders. So that's a 40,000 holder increase in 15 months. And that's not as much compared to like Bitcoin or ETH, but that goes
Yeah,
to show that the price is still stabilizing. The holders have increased in the past 15 months by 40K. Like back in 2020, the amount of holders were at 6,000.
yeah. And so right now, the only coin in their portfolio, because they had many others, has been the Pepe coin. That's the only one in these guys' portfolios that right now is doing well. And I would recommend, if you've been in there the whole time, get out of Dodge. you 3x your money, get out and move on with your life. Because at the end, I added up the portfolio. If you had listened to them and you put $100,000 with every pick from at the beginning of a year ago to now, you lost about $93,000 if following their exact ratio of what they were putting money into. And I want you to pay attention, because their in circle, the other guys that they network with, they don't tell them to invest in this stuff. They tell them straight Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that leads me to say I think they were paid to shill those, and that's how they were making money. But it's just interesting. Like, they have no history of trading. There's no they're selling you a course to trade and be a millionaire, and there's no history of themselves following any trading strategies to make themselves a millionaire. Just, this is what I bought. And keep in mind, guys, it's easy to say I got into Pepe at its lowest and at its high and sold at its highest after the events happened. It's easy because there's no record of exchange like there is on stocks. So, like, if you said that with stocks, you can go to the DDTC and look up that person's trading history, and you know right away whether they're BSing or not. With crypto, since it's unregulated and there's no centralized exchange, there's no way to affirm any of these decisions. You just kind of have to take it at face value. So that's why I say be very, very careful. Like, definitely don't buy a course from somebody that hasn't been investing with you along the way and proving every step of the way. Like, I would listen to them. I'd get all the free advice I can, but I'm not going to pay someone to get that advice from them. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that lost the entirety of their money with these guys. So just be careful about that. Just be careful about that. And I'm gonna do a whole response video to his to Duke the Dom's question too. So shout out to him, because and all those other guys that seem to want to have the ability to chase down and expose those guys. So, but I just don't want you guys to make that mistake and try to get there in the first place, because slow and steady is how you're going to get it. And don't invest in this stuff into crypto at all until, one, you've assessed your own risk tolerance, and two, that you got a strategy to get out and you have money aside to help you go. Like, if you have a family, don't put your nest egg into this when you have a family to take care of. You should be doing traditional investments first before taking on high risk investment. Any person who's been or is in finance will tell you the same thing. Crypto is kind of like the last gamble that you do if you're not even established and you have family to take care of, because you got to take care of your kids and pay your bills first before you can start doing any of this crazy stuff. So, and I recommend go find a licensed and certified, well vetted financial planner. That'd be the best way. Not just a financial advisor, but someone who also does financial planning as well. But I gotta pull up the market watch stuff, because the stock market, everyone's still holding their breath on this. I just want to say, guys, because oops, close that out. Uh, People are still holding their breath on the stock market, because I think people are now expecting the rates to drop. I can tell you right now, their interest rates are not going to drop. They're going to keep going up. The stock market is going to be the last bubble to pop, and it isn't a bubble. It's at its highest evaluation ever in the history of the stock market. It's getting ready to go downhill. So if you've been making stock picks and everything, now's the time to probably cash out your profits and sit on the sidelines, pay your taxes, and wait for the correction to happen and start getting in. Now, a lot of times the correction will be bad, but it won't be as bad compared to the market as a whole. It will go down, but then it will eventually rise back up. Just as long as you are dollar cost averaging and investing on the way back up, you will succeed. But if you're a decade from a retirement, I would suggest start talking to a financial advisor, getting a game plan together. Don't start trying to pick your own stocks at this point. It's time to get into conservative funds and like index funds and stuff like that to grow. But I do right now, the housing market, it's on iffy ground, but that's not even a real thing that's going to implode because it's going to be commercial markets where a lot of people are just tossing the keys back to the bank and they don't want to pay those insane interest payments on those properties that are sitting emptyless because nobody's starting a business right now. And rightfully so, starting a business right now in this economy is not the best, is not the greatest, unless if you can take some hard hits and some hard losses, is not the great time. And most people are not trying to risk it. They're just trying to get a steady 9 to 5. Because Cody and I have been always been saying this: 9 to 5s, they save lives. So just remember that. I did put up a video about Dollar General. It's still looking like a good stock. However, I would not get into it just yet because they're having a price. They're going to have with the Federal Trade Commission a lawsuit about their prices soon. So that's going to cause their drop because they've been mispricing stuff. And I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's because they just short staff all their stores because I never see more than two people working in a Dollar General, but or if it's on purpose with intent that they they advertise it as low, and then when you don't pay attention as they're ringing it out, and you end up spending an extra 50-60 bucks more. So I don't know if it's intentional. I don't think it's intentional, but hey, you never know these days. But I could tell you right now, with two people and doing like 1,000 price changes a day, there's no way they could do it and run the store. There's just no way. They need to have probably at least four people because they always look flustered when you go in there because they're unloading the truck while trying to ring you out, while trying to stock the shelves and throw out the trash. It just seems like endless work, and it never stops in that store. So I hope they can balance that out. But once that price issue goes through the courts, because it's not officially in the courts, but I can tell you it's going to go through the courts. Um, and it'll be what it'll be. Then I would start taking a look at it and seeing where the price adjusts after that. However, usually in times like this where people are feeling the pinch, the economy's kind of stagnant, Dollar General is usually the place to go. However, they're going to be one of the places to go because their competitor Dollar Tree slash Family Dollar is closing 600 stores this year, along with overall retail's closing a lot of stores. Macy's closing 100 stores. Rite Aid closing 300, Eckerd closing 150, Walgreens closing 150, and CVS closing 10% of its stores, dropping down to 900 total stores across the nation, as well as Target, Walmart, Kohl's are all closing up stores as well. And most of them are in the areas that you can guess that we always see on the news where they're getting hit hard with shrink and customer theft. So keep that in mind, guys, that stuff will affect companies' bottom lines, which means they're going to close those stores and they're going to raise rates in other stores. So the people who were abiding by the law are now going to feel the penalty and effects because these stores had to suffer through that. So I'm just saying more price hikes are to come, especially with business insurance is rising for these companies. So they're naturally going to start raising prices to maintain the profit margins. But other than that, everyone's still holding their breath on the interest rates. I think crypto will be fine. It's going to dip anyway for the next couple months and be stagnant over the summer like it traditionally has before the bull run. And I do think that during this bull run is probably going to be the biggest bull run because this is going to have the most amount of retail investors coming into the market. And we'll probably see the biggest increase in value before it levels off and becomes more consistent like the stock market.
Yeah.
So I don't I don't know if we got maybe one more bull run after that, but it feels like this is like the last hoorah bull run where you'll get the maximum where you find people who put money into anything and then got out with everything. I
See,
don't
I
think
only have two coins for this bull run. I only have Quant and Polka Dot.
yeah, and I think those are great picks, but I just think the market overall go beyond everyone's expectations because we have so many people. We have a very, very unique powder keg where people feel like they're being tightened up, and they're going to try and find solutions to get financially independent. And of course, social media, TikTok, Instagram, and influencers are feeding into that like white on rice. Like they're there, they're stuck to it, and they're just feeding it, feeding it, feeding it, feeding it, and the constant like I've been watching a lot of it. It's all this. It's the exact same rhetoric. You're nothing unless you have a Rolls Royce, and I'm gonna tell you guys, only the Rockefellers can live a Rockefeller life. The rest of us are going to live normal lives, no matter how much money we make. Maybe a handful, less than 1% of us will ever hit a nine-figure net worth. But about 2% of us, by the time we retire, as long as we do everything smart, will smart investments will hit a seven-figure net worth. It's just that you're not going to have it when you're young, especially if you're spending. There's no way. I saw one influencer said never buy groceries. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Buying groceries is the easiest way to save a little extra money and get collecting those coupons to save as much as you can on your groceries so that you can invest as much as you can. That will make you successful in the future. No matter what any of these guys say or what anyone is complaining about, Dave Ramsey has it right. Spend less than you make and you'll make it. That's pretty much it. If you make X dollars, spend less than X dollars and you will eventually make it. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you guys, there's gonna be a lot of moonshots. There's gonna be a lot of scams. There's gonna be a lot of everything starting to poke its head in crypto and in stocks. Because I already see the become a make seven figures in 1 month day trading. That's impossible. That's impossible because you eventually will lose. You'll eventually make a bad call, and if you don't believe me, just go. There's a TikTok channel that shows all the crazy losses from everyone following that rhetoric on day trading. I think one of the most the one video that stuck in my mind is the one guy that was doing day trades in Wall Street bets, and he made I don't know why he shorted Apple. It's like rule number one: don't ever short Apple. But he shorted Apple, and he ended up losing like $190,000, and he was puking on his live because like that's that's the effect of people. People feel like it's a no-win situation. Don't put yourself in that no-win situation. Don't listen to these guys. These guys make money off of you viewing their channel and then making money off the courses they sell. They don't make money off of day trading. I can tell you that right now. Because if all these guys were day trading at the amounts that they said, they would be having an adverse effect on the markets. And if you really want to see like these guys are trading options, call the options exchange. Talk to someone in the options exchange. Look up those trades. I bet you're going to find that they've all been canceled or have been on pending, which is kind of like it hasn't been cash funded yet to initiate the strike. So they haven't even committed or signed the paperwork to do it. They just made a pending sale and will cancel it. you, I don't know why people think like you're not gonna in order to make I think in order to make seven figures a month off of options trading, you would have to be at 5% of 5.5% of the volume of world options trading to be able to make six figures consistently every month. To be able to make six figures that you can cash out, like that's a tremendous amount of money. That means you already have to have nine figures in your account to be able to make seven figures. No one's risking that. Wealthy people don't trade options. The only time they ever get options is when their company that they've been working hard on goes IPO. They take their stock options from the IPO and they sell when the options are ready to strike. That's it. Like they don't sit here and start trying to day trade and do all this stuff. They're not doing that. So it's like I said, don't listen, don't look at what don't look at what these influencers are doing. Look at what Jeff Bezos is doing. If Jeff Bezos isn't investing in options, why the hell do you think you can make more money than he's made in his life by options trading? I don't know. I definitely don't trade options on crypto. That's because right now in crypto they're doing like 500x leverage. Very bad, very bad, very bad. You're most likely going to lose. Don't do it. Just don't do it. The best thing you can do is just be in the market with a scheduled dollar cost average. Just put a little bit of money in on a consistent basis in stocks or whatever you're doing, and you will make it because you'll be investing whether it's good or bad. And in 30 years, you cash out with a win. I don't know, but that's all we really got on the market news because there really isn't nothing going on. There really isn't as much. There's earnings coming out, but we all know they're going to be bad. The economy's turning south. I know that mortgages suck. Banks are going to have bad corporate real estate loans. The auto industry's not making as much money. They're not even selling as much parts. Grocery stores aren't making as much money because people aren't buying as much. So and a lot of Gen Zers and younger millennials are trying to grow their own food and stuff like vegetables and things. So that's going to take a huge cut out of the grocery store. So yeah, I don't know. What are some of your thoughts, Cody? Before we kind of close out, 'cause I know it feels like to many it's looking kind of bleak out there.
Yeah, I agree. The economy is looking rough for pretty much all of us, but I'm just doing my thing. I'm just making sure I have the best financial situation possible, just stacking up what I'm doing and just working and just investing.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you have to get a second job, try to find that second job now. Try to find it and get a side hustle. It sucks to say that, but you might have to do that. If that's what it takes to get to where you want to be, then that's where it takes to get to where you want to be. But if you are young and you're in your 20s, get a job, stick to it. Don't want to hear it's a toxic work environment. That's something you're going to have to learn through. There's toxic work environments everywhere. You're going to have to
Hmm.
work through it, learn from it, take it to the next place when you're ready to move to the next place.
If it gets to the point to where like you can't, like, everywhere is toxic, but there's some places to where it's bad to where you just have to consider looking for another job.
Yeah. I mean, if you feel like you don't have any career progression, make sure you try to find that job first or figure out where you want to go. But keep your costs low, steady investments, save and invest. That way you can get to the point to where if you don't like the job, you can leave. You can leave whenever you want. You're not tied there because you have a mortgage, you have car note, you have kids. You got to work the job you hate because you need the money to come in to pay the bills. Otherwise, your family's going to suffer, or your finances are going to suffer. Don't so. If you want to escape that situation, the best thing to do is reduce all the debt that you can have, pay off your car as soon as you can, pay off your mortgage as soon as you can. I know it's hard, but you just got to find ways to make it happen. That's what the economy is coming to. You just got to find ways to make it happen. The free money's gone, the fast money's disappearing now. So what's going to be left is the way that how Warren Buffett made his money. Slow and steady, steady acquisitions of investments he understood and knew how to make a profit off of. That's it. None of this meme coin trading, day trading, all of that's going out the window. Forex trading. And look, I was licensed and was on there. I've seen Forex traders lose their mind and ruin their life over bad bets. It's like you can't predict the market. We can have a good idea of what direction it's going in, but we can't predict the market to a T. Because we would already have had the first training there. Most people lose trying to predict because you're trying to predict human emotion, which you can't predict what everyone else is going to think they're going to do. That's all I gotta say. Just be safe out there. Invest in the places that make sense. Don't invest your nest egg. Don't overextend yourself. Cut back on all your debts as much as you can. Come up with a budget and definitely get yourself a financial advisor because that's probably going to save your financial life. getting a financial advisor. But with that said, guys, I got to go because I got to head to the store before I leave and get some things for my office. Got to head to Office Depot. So with that, appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. Check out all our lives are saved up on YouTube, so you can go back and look pass through all. There's over we're coming up on 200 lives, so really appreciate you guys with the journey. Hope you guys enjoyed this live. We'll see you again for tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.